Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Ramp Booth, exclusively on A2DRadio.com. He's John Coyle. I'm Rob Brinkman.
What's up,
Ralphie Delavecchio is producing the program. It's Super Bowl Sunday. We're live on Facebook. We're live on Instagram. We're live on Twitter. We're live on Twitch. Miss anything here on A2D Radio, download us wherever you get your podcast, Spreaker, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Takeover Talk. Going to be a big 22, starting with the Super Bowl this afternoon. It's a big day. It's really like a national holiday. We're brought to you by All Campus down in Ocean City between 10th and 11th Street. A2D members get 20% off hats, shirts, and our team cornhole sets to all subscribers. When Mother Nature is not rearing its ugly head, we'll have cornhole set up outside, hat in hand. You get 4 shots for up to an additional 40% off. Go 4 for 4, get 40% off. Get yourself a bunch of hats. You got beanies down there. I don't know what it's like down there, John, but it's warm, but it's very miserable up here.
Yeah, it's not too bad here today. Not too
It's
bad.
warm, so it means it's not. It won't stick. But where it's not going to stick is in SoFi Stadium, Los Angeles, California, 6:30. I think it's like, what, are they making like a weird 6:38 kickoff here?
6:37 or something, yeah.
6:37. Brings us to our poll question. Obviously, our poll question is brought to you by A2D memberships. $9.99 a month gets you special perks, shout-outs, members-only shows, merchandise giveaways. You get gambling picks from the Money Pop Podcast and Willie Vegas.
You got your sheet?
I got my index card right
there
here.
You go.
I'm sure we're going to build some crazy parlay at some point throughout the show. I have no feel for the game, John, really, but I got a feel for how I think the game's going to go, and I got some props that I like that we're going to share with the people. So that brings us to our poll question. The Cincinnati Bengals, America's team, so to speak, right now. Everyone's kind of latched on the Joe Burrow and this Cincinnati
the Cinderella
Bengals
team
squad. Will they upset the Los Angeles Rams? I think the coach turns back into the pumpkin, so to speak, today. I like the Rams today.
Yeah.
I picked the Rams Monday on the Sports Hounds with Brad Ryer. Catch us tomorrow for all the recap of the big game. I picked the Rams 20-17 Monday. Nothing I've seen, nothing I've read throughout the week has made me waver from that. Sometimes you get tidbits and gut feelings throughout the week that make you change your mind. But here's the 3 things that come into my mind when I'm looking to make a selection for this game.
Right.
A, it's Joe Burrow. It's Joe Burrow. It's Joe Burrow. He's great. I've seen a lot of talking heads on TV say that they'd rather have Joe Burrow over the next 10 years than Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes. I'm not quite there with Joe Burrow right yet. I love the guy, but I think the Joe Burrow train is off and running. And I think that people are getting just a touch carried away with it. Let's look at the other quarterback, John, in Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford out-Bradied Tom Brady on the road in the playoffs.
Yes, he
Sent the GOAT into the abyss, into retirement for now. We'll see what happens come training camp with Tom Brady. I'm not sold that he's actually retired yet. But for now, he is retired. I feel like no one's talking about it. Although Stafford did not play his best game in the NFC Championship game, he did overcome a 10-point deficit to a very good football team.
Very good defense. Yeah.
In San Francisco. I mean, Kyle Shanahan, Jimmy Garoppolo, they're the butt of a lot of jokes, but that core of guys there in San Francisco, they're playing deep into January a lot.
Yeah.
And Matthew Stafford overcomes, adapts, gets his team to the Super Bowl. I feel like that kind of got brushed aside under the rug because of Joe Burrow. And then you look at the X and O standpoint of the game, where you have the clear weakness of the Cincinnati Bengals is their offensive line. And you have the pass rush of the Los Angeles Rams being probably the strength of a very talented Rams team.
Yeah.
So I think that's a monster mismatch in the trenches. I don't think Cincinnati is going to be able to overcome it. Whether it comes in the form of sacks, John, or hurries, or pressure, or however you want to classify it, however it turns out, I think Joe Burrow is going to spend a lot of time on his backside today. So those are my three bullet points. I do not have the Bengals pulling the upset today. I disagree to the poll question. I got the Rams 20-17.
Okay.
John, what do
So
you got?
you at least have them covering, right? Because it's a 4-point spread.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So
is
you
that
at
what it
least
is? 4?
I believe it's still 4. Yeah. This last I looked at this morning. But I'm kind of on the same boat with you. I'm just a little bit further. I love the Rams. I don't understand why people are brushing off, like you want to talk about things that are getting brushed off. This is a home game. Now I understand that yes, San Fran kind of took over LA and LA fans aren't there. I'm not worried about that as much as I am the comfort level that this Rams team has got to be feeling going into this week. This is the biggest game for a lot of these players that they'll ever have in their career. To stay at home, have the same routines, have the same people that you see every single day going in and out of the stadium. That's got to bring a comfort level and a little bit of ease to these players that Cincinnati's not going to have. So the nerve factor, I think, is going to be in favor of LA also, which I think people are brushing under the table. I think that's a huge deal to me. The other reason you brought up Matthew Stafford, all week long, all I heard was, well, Jared Goff got this team to the Super Bowl, and he's not that much better than, or not that much worse than Matthew Stafford. That's a complete joke. That's a complete joke. All right. Matthew Stafford is head and shoulders better, and I think it's going to be displayed on this game today.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Did you see like all the Detroit Rams memorabilia coming
Oh
out of
my
Detroit
God.
this week?
It's
They're all in
nuts.
on.
Yeah.
Listen, Matthew Stafford, when he out-Brady'd Brady on the road in the playoffs, the way he did and sent the GOAT into the abyss, into retirement, that cemented his legacy for me.
I'm 100%. I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Hall of Famer.
I do. I think the longevity that this guy's had, the injuries that he has played through. I mean, he's really a non-injured player his whole career. The guy's a warrior. He just got stuck in a bad situation.
Yeah, could you imagine if he got up with a guy with a core like this Rams team and a coach like McVay like 5-6 years ago?
Yeah, we be talking more rings than one or two. He could be 4, 5, 6 ring guy if he was surrounded by it. The talent is there.
And then like Giants fans, they want to tell me all the time how Eli Manning's like this lock to be in the Hall of Fame.
No,
like, okay, that's fine and that's cute, but if Eli Manning's no doubt about it lock Hall of Famer, then what's Matthew Stafford?
Right. That's my theory. You put Eli on Detroit. My gosh, do they ever win 5 games in a year?
No. I'm totally with you. And then just some injury news for the Rams. Like Higbee's going to be out.
Yeah, that's big.
Bland played good, but like
he played good. Rams, but now who's their backup tight end? I don't even know who their backup tight end.
It's that guy Blanton who he did a couple.
No. That, but who's their second tight end for the game today?
I don't know. Good question.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but I mean, the Bengals have Joe Burrow, and that's just like his intangibles and his ability to win these games and the swag that he's got going on.
Right.
Is the Bengals' best chance to win this football game, trying to steal one here, because I this would be a moderate upset. This isn't a huge upset. This isn't Giants over Patriots upset if Joe Burrow wins today, but this would be an upset in my opinion, because I don't think there's an argument that can be made that the Bengals have the Rams have a better roster than the Cincinnati Bengals.
No, the Rams have to me they have a way better roster than the Bengals. Is that where you were going with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Rams are just clear head and shoulders better almost at every position, including the darling wide receivers. I'm taking Cooper Kupp over everyone.
Over Jamar?
Yeah. How can you not? Come on. For this year, maybe
Close.
in career long term, maybe Jamar surpasses him. But this year, Cooper Kupp is the head and shoulders the number one wide receiver.
I guess I'm all Odell'd up today. I think Odell Beckham Jr. has a big game.
Right.
I don't know if he scores just because I have a 20-17 game. It means there's not going to be a lot of touchdowns to go around. So I don't like him to score, but he's going to show up. He's going to be involved. He loves it there in LA. He needs a contract for next year.
Yeah.
He's
going to get the most targets in the game, I think.
Pretty spot on money since joining the Rams. So I think Odell is a huge X factor today. And then, what's McVay going to do? This genius McVay who couldn't get his high-powered offense out of the garage last time. Right. He was in the Super Bowl against Bill Belichick and Tom Brady and New England Patriots, only put up 3 points. You got to think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder. He doesn't have a Jared Goff to fall back on as an excuse. Right. He's got Matthew Stafford and a loaded roster. So I'll be interested to see if he's going to let him sling it early or if they're going to be able to run the ball. Try and run the ball.
Yeah, I would like to think that this is going to be a Matthew Stafford day. I like to think he's going to get 3+ today, 3+ yards and 3+ touchdowns today. I do
really?
I do see this being a Matthew Stafford day. I think
you got an over.
I got an over. Yeah, I took the over. I think McVay is coming out wanting a little bit of redemption for that stinker that he put up 2 years ago. Yeah.
And it looks like Darrell Henderson's going to play. So you got Akers, Sony Michel, Henderson in the backfield. No Higbee, but obviously you still have 2 monster receivers on the outside in Odell and Cooper Kupp. And then you look at, is there any...
I think you're breaking up a little bit there.
Off field from an standpoint that you can look at the Bengals roster.
I'm losing you a little bit. I think you're breaking up there. Your connection's a little bit bad, but I think you were going with, is there any offensive player that I'm looking for with the Rams?
This is bullshit.
I hear you there. But I mean, if you're talking Rams, I'm looking. Sony Michel, I think, is going to be a big factor for me. I think he's going to be the goal line guy. I'm hoping that he can come through and make it work. There you go. I got you now. I see you moving. But yeah, Sony Michel, I think, is going to be a factor in the goal line situations. I don't think you're going to see a lot of Akers today. I don't know why. I just feel like this is going to be Matthew Stafford throwing 40 times today.
I mean, I kind of agree on Cam Akers not getting the rock, from a handoff perspective. But I'm staring the top prop bet on my board on my card right here. Cam Akers over 15.5 receiving yards. I love the bet. I love prop bets where I can conceivably win on one play. And I think we've talked about this before. I could easily see Cam Akers getting a little screen pass, getting a little dump off, and getting some room to run and getting 16 yards and winning that prop on play.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I like you're hot on the over.
I'm real high on the over. I don't think it's going to be a shootout. I don't think it's going to be a 37-34 type of game. But I do see it being a 28-24, 32-28 type of game. Yeah.
So, before we had the little glitch there, which we're going to get everything squared away. It's the people out there, and we're going to get to some comments. I promise. So hang in. So, is there any X and O case you can make where the Cincinnati Bengals roster has an advantage over the Los Angeles Rams roster? It's not in the trenches.
No, it's not in the trenches.
You would think Jalen Ramsey is going to do a pretty good job on Jamar Chase.
Correct. Yeah.
You know?
If I had to guess one thing, it's Joe Burrow, the Joe Burrow factor. I mean, is this going to be Joe Cool, Joe Namath reincarnated today? Or are we going to see Joe Burrow be that cool, calm, collective, no matter the pressure, no matter the situation he's in? He's come through in these playoffs. That, to me, that is the only way Cincinnati can win this game is Joe Burrow handles the pressure of that rush of the DB in Ramsey and handles that correctly.
Why is it that Matthew Stafford gets no love? Why does he get compared to Jared Goff and put on the same level as Jared Goff? He's been doing it for years, and Joe Burrow wins a couple of games, and he's like,
to me, it's the same reason why Dan Marino doesn't get any love for being the best quarterback. To me, Dan Marino is the best quarterback to ever play this game. He's never won. And it's that simple. Matthew Stafford has never won. The perception of a quarterback is if you're an elite quarterback, you're a winning quarterback.
But at what point am I, as a fan and as sports fans, do we have to have situational awareness and realize the circumstances that Matthew Stafford was put in Detroit, and the fact that he has the most fourth quarter comebacks, I think, since in the last 10 years. I don't have the stat right in front of me, but a lot of fourth quarter comebacks.
Correct.
Two of which have happened in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah.
To get him, I mean, I know the probably not technically a comeback in the record books against Tampa Bay and Tom Brady, but I mean, 27-3. You let him back in, and then you step up at the end and you make a couple throws, and you go on to the NFC Championship game. So probably not a comeback per se, but I mean, this guy's had ice in his veins in Detroit for years, and he's somehow put on the level of Jared Goff and Jimmy Garoppolo and Jalen Hurd too. I feel like he's much more regarded as one of these stinky, very, very flawed starting quarterbacks in the league, as opposed to the Mahomes and the Josh Allens and the Joe Burrows and the Herberts, which is where Matthew Stafford belongs.
He should be. You're right. To me, it just has to do with the winning, right? You did not win, so when you don't win, you don't get the recognition throughout the nation, right? I'm sure everyone in Detroit knows how great this guy is, and there you go. Welcome back. And I'm sure everyone in the sporting world knows how great he is. But in a national casual fan type of way, if he's not playing in the big game, no one knows about him. People saw Goff. People see Jimmy G every year. And that's it. It just comes down to winning. He doesn't win.
And so he's got the stench.
He's got the stench.
The Tom Arnone stench.
Correct.
If you will, where if you're on a bad team, there's no situational awareness, and everyone's just got a stench on them.
Right. Let me ask you a question.
Love you, Tommy.
How do you feel about this? Did Matthew Stafford live up to being the number one pick?
Sure. Ryan Leaf wasn't a number one pick.
No,
but, I mean, we see these guys all the time. Baker Mayfield was a number one pick. Jared Goff was a number one pick.
But when you have the number one pick and you take a quarterback, don't you ultimately think that needs to lead to a title in that reign to be successful?
Not necessarily.
Okay. All right.
It's hard.
Right, but that's the hate on Matthew Stafford, is because a lot of people, including kind of myself, if you're supposed to be the clear-cut number one, which he was in that year he came out, you're supposed to be the guy that changes the franchise.
You say he was? I don't even remember that draft.
He was the clear-cut, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
he was clear cut,
he
right?
was
What
clear
was it,
cut one.
08?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what year, but I know there was no other person that they were considering the one pick there.
Yeah, but like when you like Baker Mayfield in Cleveland, like that's a failure.
Right.
Because you
I'm
should have picked Josh Allen.
100% correct.
No, I
I
know
get
that's
that.
it's not the easiest. It's not the easiest thing to do, like in the moment. Like I have a futures bet on the Rams today. Like I bet it in August.
Right.
So 50 to win 400. So I'm all Rams up. So maybe I'm biased with my prediction. Who knows? But like if I could, I didn't know that Joe Burrow was going to look like this in August. Like who knew that Joe Burrow was going to be in the Super Bowl in
Nobody.
August? Not me.
Nobody.
Get some comments here. Joseph, Tom Arnone, he agrees to the poll. He's all bangled up.
Okay.
Joseph Orcaye, he's got squares going. Joseph Orcaye, I got 0 Rams, 3 Bengals in my 25K every
That's
payout.
a good one to have.
0-3. Those ones are interesting because, like, you score the touchdown, that's a score. And then everyone forgets that the extra point is a score as well. So there's a lot of money to be made there. Rooting for my boy Evan McPherson. Go Gators. Okay, so he's a Gator fan. Evan McPherson.
Okay.
I think he's like 10,000 to 1 to win MVP.
I was about to say, I heard some people are betting him to win MVP. That's a kick. Has a kicker at never, right?
Well, because I guess Brady got it when they played the Rams, remember?
I would assume so, even though
like
Vinatieri
way back,
won it.
like 01.
Right.
Like
no,
because he shredded it, like, and Vinatieri's the only one that comes to mind.
Correct. Yeah.
You know, I watched after UFC when I was a little, inebriated, going to bed. I watched the NFL timeline of the Tuck Rule.
Oh, that was a great little series.
I didn't see the 30 for 30 yet. I'm going to watch it after the show.
Oh, that's what I saw. Yeah,
the NFL timeline one.
Okay.
Because I could watch that on YouTube. I couldn't get my couldn't figure out how to log into my ESPN Plus account.
Ah, boy.
But I mean, my God, did the Raiders get jobbed?
Oh, 100%. 100%. They had a great kicker that year, too. Wasn't that Jankowski?
Yeah, he was there forever.
Yeah, he was a hell of a kicker.
But I mean, like looking back, and I remember that day. I actually remember that day with the Tuck Rule. We're getting off on a tangent here. We'll get back to the Super Bowl and James Harden and everything in a second here.
Right.
Like, you need indisputable, undeniable, no doubt about it, evidence to overturn a call.
Correct.
They looked at that play for 12 minutes.
Long. Yeah, that's a long time. Yeah.
Like real time.
Right.
12 minutes.
Right.
I don't know how you can tell me that after 2 minutes, if it takes 2 minutes, that means, you can't change the call. You don't know what's going on. You stick with what's on the field. Took them 12 minutes to review that. So that tells me that
you need to watch the 30 for 30 on that with him and Woodson together, and it's fun how those two players dissect that play down. It was really cool.
Because, then Eric Allen's on the timeline show being like, I wish Charles just would have let him throw it because I had the backside slant jumped. I was going to throw a pick.
He said that too. Yep.
And it's crazy, and this is going to lead somewhere, I promise. It's crazy how one play can change the whole landscape of everything.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much involved in that play. We probably don't ever hear of Tom Brady if that play doesn't happen. If that's a fumble, and Tom Brady even said it on the 30 for 30 episode, if that play doesn't happen, New England probably goes back to Drew Bledsoe that next year. And Tom Brady is never to be heard of again, maybe.
And then, first off, the Raiders got screwed. The Raiders got screwed from higher power because Al Davis and the NFL have never gotten along.
Right.
So they're taking the 12 minutes to, thumb through the rule book hard, right? Looking for a way, how can we screw these guys? Here it is, Tuck Rule. Looks like a tuck to me. We're going with that one. Took us 12 minutes, but we found a rule. We're not letting the Raiders win.
It is interesting how that rule, like, it has everything to do with if the left hand touches the ball, like when you're like, there's so much involved in that rule that you had no idea a stupid rule like that can decide an entire franchise.
And then Brady goes on to be Brady. Belichick goes on to be Belichick. And, the Raiders go right in the tank. Al Davis freaks out. He goes completely on tilt.
The Raiders could have did back-to-back, right? Because didn't they win it the year after, right? Wasn't that the John Gruden Tampa Bay whole thing?
Gruden lost. Gruden got traded to Tampa Bay, and then Gruden won with Tampa.
Right.
Against the Raiders.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That could have been a whole back-to-back. They won that first one.
But Gruden doesn't go. Gruden doesn't get traded.
Oh, maybe not. Right. Yeah, that too. Yeah.
And the Raiders really, this is like their first year they've been good since.
Yeah.
But and this leads me to my next little point here is Joe Burrow. Now, I've heard a lot of talking heads. Colin Cowherds, I heard Richard Sherman say it, just to name a few off the top of my head. Not Colin Cowherd, I'm sorry. Colin Cowherd is smart and level-headed and one of my favorites, and he would never say something stupid.
Sounds like he would be one of your favorites.
Like Joe Burrow is better than Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes. I think it was Skip Bayless, surprise.
There you go.
That they would rather have Joe Burrow than Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes over the next 10 years. I'm not there yet. Right? Isn't that crazy? That's crazy, right?
I'm not going to say it's crazy. I don't think it's crazy. I think Joe Burrow gives you the quote-unquote safe quarterback to where you don't expect him to throw interceptions. He's not the gunslinger we like to call quarterbacks of a Josh Allen and a Patrick Mahomes. So I don't think it's crazy.
You want to go win the Super Bowl today? Then let's talk.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
then let's talk
definitely about it. Would.
But right now at high noon here in the East, pre-Super Bowl,
right?
No shot. Who are you taking over the next 10 years? What quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking Patrick Mahomes.
I'm taking Mahomes too.
Yeah, I'm taking Patrick Mahomes, but I do think Joe Burrow is in that top 5. Right?
He's my third.
I think he's up there.
So I have Mahomes, Allen, Burrow.
Okay.
And then I guess I'll go Herbert.
I'm going to say Herbert's got to be in the mix there. Yeah.
And then 5th is obviously Jalen Hurts, right?
Come on.
Psych.
Come on.
No.
I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of Kyler Murray. I mean, I think he still has a bright future.
How about Kyler Murray? What's going on there?
I don't know what's going on.
Instagram, social media warfare.
Yeah. Well, just
whatever happened to the days, John, where you could just go to the team like a normal person and an adult being like, hey, I'm not liking how this is going. What can we do to fix it? Because Kyler Murray's not getting $100 million.
We will touch on that with the Ben Simmons and the Harden trade.
To talk right. And guess what? Today is going to be maybe we'll touch it. We'll see what happens tomorrow on the Sports Sounds. But today and tomorrow, between my two shows that I host here on A2D Radio, this is it with Ben Simmons. This is it with number 25 from Australia. You know why, John? Sharks swim backward. Always forward, never backwards.
Right.
I don't care what's in the back. He's gone.
I can agree with that.
I got a squad. I got just to preview our talk. The Sixers finally got a squad that I can be proud of and confident in that they can actually host a title. We're going to get...
Okay. We'll get into Sixers talk, I'm sure.
We got some comments here. Bryce Blackwell's in the house. He thinks the Bengals can win, but I think the Rams because of their defense.
That's a fair assessment.
I'm right there with you.
That's a fair assessment. Yep.
I'm right there with you. Yep. Look, I think, and Joe Burrow's good. I'm not trying to knock Joe Burrow.
No.
But I think we're just a little too hype. on Mr. Burrow right now. And it was great. It was great what he did last week. What was it? Fourth big comeback on the road at AFC Championship game. I mean, Matthew Stafford did the same thing. Did he not?
Correct. And this is a lot better defense that he's going to be seeing today. Just in the front four, and you have the not arguably the best cornerback in the league right now going up against your best receiver. Jalen Ramsey's going to be trailing and following Chase all game long. I would love to see how many looks Burrow gives Chase off of that. I bet you it's under 5. I don't think he's going to get more than 5 targets.
Chase.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And, like, he's just so like it only takes one.
It only takes one. You're right. You're right. He could beat him once. I just don't see Jamar Chase having the stat line of 8 receptions, 125 yards, and a touchdown. Like I don't. That's not a reality today.
I think there's going to be a lot of defense on both sides in this football game. I really like the under. I know you like the over.
Right.
We're going to build a parlay later. I'll give you we'll build.
What's the fan? What do you guys think? Is this do you like the over? Do you like this being more of a shootout game, or do you think this will be a defensive game? I would love to hear everyone's opinion on it.
Bryce Blackwell, Stafford hasn't won or didn't turn around the Lions, and Burrow turned Bengals around in 3 years. That's the media perception. I mean, okay.
Yeah. Right. And that's true, right? As the number 1 pick, he took a franchise who got the number 1 pick. 3 years later, they're in a Super Bowl.
The only thing I'll say that, and now we're back to stench talk.
Right.
Stenchgate here on Super Bowl Sunday regarding Matthew Stafford. Is that what it is? Because if you remember, there was, it was like maybe 2014, 2015, where the Lions went 9-7 back-to-back years and had do or die flex games against the Packers to win the NFC North, and they lost because Aaron Rodgers and the Packers were just better.
Yeah.
And then they fired Jim Caldwell.
Right.
And it destroyed their culture. It destroyed their locker room. The players were outraged. Dan Orlovsky still talks about it to this day on Get Up on ESPN. Every chance he gets is they fired Jim Caldwell, and they just lost all
Calvin Johnson walks, a couple of years after that. Right?
So, because they just got sick of it. Because, now they got Campbell, and they're sort of getting better. But, I mean, this is a team that was right there, a quarterback that was right there a couple years in a row with a 4-time MVP in Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And now if you want to dog them for not winning those games, okay, fine. But, the Packers were better.
But you do have to hold up to that theory of you're the number 1 pick. You're supposed to be the franchise changer. And I don't think Matthew Stafford can ever be labeled that. He never did anything to change that franchise. They were always your 8-win team or under. They with him or without him now. It's just that culture in that stadium is what they are. And Matthew Stafford's got burdened some of that load.
I guess.
I mean, he's got to take some of that stink. The player that he should have been changes that franchise, and he never did it. That he's got to burden that. He's got to own up to that. That's got to be a factor into his all-time, what he's going to leave as a legacy to this league.
They have the big trade in the offseason. All the trades really that the Rams made over the past couple of years there on NFL Game Day on NFL Network. Such a loaded roster. We got Wishmaster First time I've ever seen Wishmaster in the chat. Welcome. He's checking us out on YouTube. National media jumps on quarterbacks nuts too fast.
Yeah.
I think the national media they're just leeches. They latch.
It's the most important position in all sports.
And then, they're latched on Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals right now.
Yeah.
Rightfully
so, though.
Greg Milakovic, he disagrees with the bowl, so he's with me.
Okay.
He thinks he's got the Rams today. Greg dabbles in the prop bets and the gambling.
He's a betting guy. Yep.
Wonder who he's got today. Greg, give us a lock. Give us your lock of the day.
A prop bet
lock of the day. Whatever, however he wants to take it. A lock.
Right.
I thought I had a lock last night in Derek Lewis, and I didn't. Did you watch the UFC last night?
I did not. I had.
You didn't miss much.
Yeah, I had a busy night here at the store.
You didn't miss much. John Dupuis. It's funny. I haven't even thought about the Super Bowl since we got Harden. Pants have been off the whole time.
That's in Philadelphia. That's all it's been, right? That's the talk of all Philadelphia. Okay,
we're itching to talk about it. Everyone's been talking about it. It's the talk of the town. It's the talk of the league. It's the talk of the sport. James Harden is a Philadelphia 76er. I'm eating a lot of crow. First off, the Nets are idiots. They're complete idiots. To take on that bum that's number 25 from Australia. I know you get some other pieces, and the picks are meaningless. Don't even talk to me about picks.
No, picks are meaningless. Yeah.
And the Sixers didn't even have to throw in Matisse Thybulle or Tyrese Maxey.
Correct.
I don't understand. Look, the Nets, Brooklyn's a net, and I'm gonna talk about the Nets side of it. I'm gonna let you talk about the Sixers, and I'll chime in on your analysis of the Sixers. But the Nets are a mess. What's their losing streak up to? 8.
Correct.
So they're a mess.
Yeah, they made a nice little comeback last night, but they couldn't complete it.
So you're telling me the way to fix a mess, the way to make your basketball team become a more cohesive, team-oriented unit,
right,
is to trade for Ben Simmons? Really? That's your plan?
I love it for the Nets. I love the trade for the Nets.
Look, Ben is what he is. Look, Ben's going to do well there. Anyone who thinks Ben Simmons is going to go to Brooklyn and not be a good basketball player, you're out of your mind. You don't know the sport.
The guy's still an all-star.
Shut your mouth and listen to A2D Radio, listen to the Rant Booth, listen to all our shows here, and we'll teach you about basketball. Teach you.
Yeah, everyone knows I'm a Ben Simmons guy. I've not hid that fact. I'm a huge Ben Simmons guy. I love the guy's talent and what he brings to the court. That being said, on the Sixers side, I'm arguing the Sixers side here, this was the absolute best trade that we can get. We got not only an all-star, you're talking a top 5 offensive player to ever play this game. To add a piece like that when you already have the best player in the game today, it's a no-brainer to make that move. All right? That being said, it sucks it had to be a trade that you also make your rival and who people are said beforehand and definitely are saying now, here is your Eastern Conference Finals if they don't match up earlier. But this is what everyone's saying. Here's the 1 team, Sixers. Here's the 2 team, the Nets. Whoever wins that's going to the finals. And to me, making a trade with a team like that to make them better, which we did, the Nets are now better than what they were when they had Harden. Okay? That's no one fool you on that. That makes the trade a little stinkish to me. The Nets are better.
You think the Nets are better?
Of course they are. Come on.
Look, I've been saying it.
They lost Joe Harris, which has been a thorn in their side all year. Now you don't replace him, but you kind of get Curry, who could do the same thing. all right, who's just a straight shooter, all right. You get a very talented backup who probably is going to end up starting for them at center, all right, and Drummond. And you get the absolute best on-ball defender in the whole NBA at 7 foot who can do everything else. You don't need him to ever touch the ball in offense because you have a guy who does that. You have two guys who does that.
The only thing I'll say is I've been saying it for weeks, and good for Morey for standing his ground. And this is probably the first time in history where one of these situations where a team has waited and been patient and it's paid off.
Right.
Usually it works the other way around. But, I mean, the only thing I'm going to say to that is it's impossible, and I still maintain that it's impossible to win a trade in the NBA when you don't receive the best player. The Sixers received the best player, therefore they won the trade. I think it's as simple as that. I'm not really going to get too deep into it now. And look, Ben Simmons is going to do his thing up in Brooklyn.
Right.
I think, I don't know.
I think this is a little different because I can't really remember the last time you had two, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate and a lot of bash for this, but two superstars being traded for each other. Like, these are two elite talents. Harden is a top 3 player in the NBA on the offensive side of the ball right now. Ben Simmons is a top 3 player on the defensive side of the ball. I don't remember a trade like that. So how you define who won that trade is going to determine the outcome of the trade. Who wins the playoff series? Because they're seeing each other in the playoffs. Who wins that series? That's who won the trade.
So you're worried about Brooklyn?
Why wouldn't you be?
How
could you not?
No.
Listen,
because when when Ben Simmons is going to do his thing.
Correct.
He's going to do it. He's going to do his thing. He's going to push pace. He's 6'10". He's going to make his teammates better. He's an elite passer. He can cover 1 through 5. He's an elite defender.
Correct.
He's going to be an average free throw shooter. He's not going to give you anything in the half court because he doesn't shoot the basketball.
Right.
Nor does he have a desire to shoot the basketball. And if he has one of these spells in the playoffs where he starts acting like a wimp and getting lazy and not aggressive, then you're playing 4-on-5, which was the problem here in Philadelphia. I'm not worried about the Nets. I strongly disagree that the Nets are better now than they were.
I'll take 4-on-5. I'll take 4-on-5 every day if one of my guys is Kevin Durant. If one of my guys is Kevin Durant, I'll take the 4-on-5.
Fair, but we have Brooklyn. It's like they're like the Cowboys. I feel like of the NBA. It's a circus.
I'll be right back, Rob. Sorry.
It's a complete circus up there in Brooklyn. You have Kyrie. Kyrie won't get vaccinated. Your body, your choice. Whatever, bro. But I mean, you're giving up game checks because you don't want to get a shot. I mean, okay, that's fine. Now Durant never healthy. Never healthy. Always something with that guy. And then you have Ben, and who knows? He's joining the team. I think they're playing the Heat next. I think they're playing the Heat next, and I think Ben's supposed to play this week. So, magic potion, Ben is cured. He's not sad anymore. His mental health issues are gone, and he's going to be playing with the Nets. But, today and tomorrow is the last I'm talking about number 25 from Ben and number 25 from Australia. Joseph Orkowski, I think both teams won. Next got better on defense and got a sharpshooter off the bench. I can see Simmons being a good facilitator to KD and Kyrie on the road. Can't play at home. Can't play in California. Sixers right now don't even look like they need Harden. So if Harden can come in as 1B to Embiid and them two can gel, Sixers are a cakewalk to the finals. Joseph, you just made a lot of great points. The only thing I won't agree with is it's not going to be a cakewalk to the finals. Not in the slightest. And I love this trade, and the Sixers got a lot better, and they got a chance to win a championship, whereas they had no chance before the trade. But the East is as loaded as it's been in years. This is a really good, like, you have 4. I'm throwing the Nets out.
John my God. I don't understand how you're throwing the Nets out. I really don't. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy to me. You don't think that they get better.
The Bulls, the Heat, the Bucks, and the Sixers are better than the Nets.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Okay.
Where how you want to the top 4 teams are Chicago, Miami, Milwaukee, and Philadelphia. Now you're going to have to play, and then you have the Nets off to the side, and Cleveland getting Karis LeVert.
Cleveland's a great team too.
Evan Mobley's been a slam dunk draft pick.
Yeah.
Poor Jared Allen. I mean, he got absolutely eviscerated by Joel Embiid last night. Did you see that dunk?
I did, but Jared Allen's having a hell of a year.
He's a great player. He's a great defender, and he's going to take a little flack in the short term for getting posterized, but
yeah, that'll be on the highlights for a while.
At least he's contesting the shot and trying,
right,
and not sitting at home playing video games and buying NFTs and petting his cat all day, like some players like to do. Okay, so I'll live with that.
Hey, there he is. What's up, Brad?
Oh, we got Brad. Brad's in the house. Maybe
you're just checking in on the car ride home.
Yeah, on Super Bowl Sunday.
Absolutely, great to have you. Welcome.
Well, there you go.
We'll get back to this since we have our esteemed guest, Brad Quast, former Iowa Hawkeye, former Philadelphia Eagles linebacker, our insider here on the Ramp Booth. Brad, do you have a thought? We're talking James Harden and Ben Simmons and the big trade. Do you have a thought on that before we get back to the Super Bowl?
I think we did pretty good as a Sixers fan, getting rid of them, and then I think the other Abib's going to step up. It'll be interesting to see is there enough minutes in the game for everyone to get their touches. That's the big thing.
I think there is, and here's why. You only have a seven guy rotation. Like, you only have 7 legitimate NBA guys right now on this Sixers roster. Now, they're gonna, because guess what? They're gonna get buyout guys.
They're gonna get some buyouts. Yeah.
But right now, you have Danny Matisse,
right?
Maxey, Harden, Joe, Tobias. I feel like I'm missing someone.
Korkmaz.
And by the way, did you see Paul Reed tried to dunk the basketball last night?
Yeah, I did see that.
Can we stop with B-ball, Paul?
If he's our backup center, we're in trouble.
Can we just stop? But, Brad, I wanted to ask you this. I was hoping you were going to join us for a few minutes today. Like, how frustrating is that as a teammate when you have a guy like Ben Simmons, who's clearly a stud, has a great skill set, and can be a missing piece to help you win football games or basketball games or whatever, and he's just not into it? How frustrating is that?
But let me ask you, does he have the skill set? I don't know. I mean, it's potential. I don't think you can win with him.
Do you think? Are you like me? Do you think winning is a skill set?
Winning is a skill set, and if you make your other players that you play with around you better, that's a skill set too.
Yeah.
And no one, So I think good riddance. Get rid of them, and we're better off.
Real quick, before I get your thoughts on the Super Bowl ride, looks like Eric Bledsoe is going to get bought out by the Portland Trailblazers. Let me get. That's my buyout guy that I want. Your backup guard. I think that really completes the basketball team.
Do the salaries? How do the salaries match up with the trade? I guess they do. They figure that out, right?
Yeah.
Because Ben and Harden are like kind of the
both
same,
max,
and Curry made some money, and Drummond I think's on a 1 year, so he didn't make enough money.
That's why we had to take Millsap back.
We took Millsap, who was making some money, and we'll see. And Millsap, that's the guy I was forgetting. Millsap's going to play here.
He'll play.
Yeah,
he'll play.
Like, just by default, I don't know how much he's got left or whatever, or how good it's going to go. But like,
he was averaging 10 points this year, so it's not like he's above.
He's a rotational big.
Yeah.
So, Brad, our poll question today is: are the Bengals going to upset the Rams today?
No.
Oh, he's off.
He's off
him.
Huh?
I said you've been on the Bengals the whole time.
I know I'm off them. I think the Rams blow them out. I think it's a 30. You want me to give a prediction?
Sure.
Yeah.
However you want
Too
to
early
take
to show it. 31-17 Rams.
Okay.
So that's a 2 touchdown. Like, I'm agree. Like,
I'm with them. Yeah, I'm with you.
I just think the Rams have too much on defense, and I just, you give both coaches are great. You give them that extra week. I just think it'll be tight. Under for the first half, and then I think they'll explode in the second half.
a pull away. How much stock do you put in the Rams playing at their home stadium in
Well,
SoFi?
isn't really their home stadium. The home field. The question is, do they have are they in their own home locker room? I mean, the league goes back and forth with that. I mean, there's not going to be Rams fans here. I mean, the average fan's priced out of the Super Bowl.
Oh,
so season ticket holders I'll bet you most of them aren't even having a seat there. So I don't see it's a big time home game for them.
How much of a comfort level is that for an athlete though, to be in?
Sleeping in your own bed and practice facility and all week and not moving is huge. Is huge for the Rams.
That's what I said in the beginning. The comfort level and the nerve factor has got to be in the Rams situation.
Oh yeah, and then it's a total comfort factor. And then for Cincinnati to go and then in the hotel and go, basically the Rams don't have to check in their hotel until Thursday night.
Correct.
So they're at home, and it's a huge factor for the family.
So we were talking Joe Burrow. And obviously the run he's on in the national media and the average casual fan is all on Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
I'm of the opinion that
he's a great guy. He's a great kid to root for. You want to root for him. I just don't think. I think he won't be smoking a cigar after today's game. But but I think he's just a good kid and he loves the game. He's making everyone around him better, that's what you want in a franchise quarterback. And I hope it's a good, closer game than I'm anticipating.
Do you think that do you think Joe Burrow is being overhyped too early in his career, or do you think that
to do what he did in Cincy and to lead them and to win on the road like he did?
Yeah,
he deserves all the credit and their coaching staff and everything else. I think he's well deserved of everything that's coming his way. Absolutely.
Do you think now there's a lot of talking heads on the mainstream and the dial and things like that are saying that they'd rather have a Joe Burrow over the next 10 years as opposed to a Josh Allen or a Patrick Mahomes? Where do you stand on that? I think it's ludicrous.
That's I mean, in terms of raw skill set, a Josh Allen and like what you mentioned, they might be better, just with all the tools.
Right.
But Joe Burrow, you can't teach what he's got. He's a winner, and he's bringing the team. He's leading it, putting the team on his back, really. So.
Right. Yeah, you can't teach the cool factor. You can't teach the staying composed under pressure, which we have seen both Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes kind of lose their cool. We haven't seen that from Joe Burrow yet. I think we're going to be tested here.
And I'm afraid tonight, I think we might see that.
Correct. You're going to be tested. You're going to be tested here.
Yeah, they're going to come after him defensively. The Rams are so unique defensively because of their athletes on the field and with Von Miller and their and what they can do. And Donald's he's a nightmare. I mean, they're going to move him up and down the line from playing the 9 technique all the way up to over the center to the guard. Yep. You watch what they're going to do with him today. That'll be an interesting matchup.
Now, I'm looking at a guy, Brad, and me and John talked about it prior to joining. I'm looking at a guy like Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford kind of has this stench on him. That the losing in Detroit was kind of he needs to take the burden of that, and now that he's only doing well because he's on a loaded team in LA with a great coach. But I'm watching the TV the last couple weeks, and I'm seeing Matthew Stafford do a lot of the same things that Joe Burrow are doing. He beats Tom Brady, sends Tom Brady into abyss, into retirement. Brady's Brady on the road. Then he comes back from a 10-point deficit in the NFC Championship game, albeit not pretty, and it was ugly. But, I mean, kind of did the same thing as Joe Burrow, although he was at home. But yet Joe Burrow is put on this pedestal as the golden boy, and Matthew Stafford is kind of looked at as like the ugly redheaded stepchild.
I agree with that assessment, but Matthew Stafford still will throw you that interception, at a crucial time in the game. Can he still, when the chips are down and he's got 2 minutes to go down and go 80 yards and score a touchdown. He's always comes up with that timely interception or that bad throw. So I want to see if he rises to the occasion today and he sucks it up and puts his big boy pants on and can lead the team and not turn the ball over. Don't throw that stupid interception like he always does.
Gunslinger. He's a gunslinger mentality.
He always gives up one. Yeah.
He'll give up that one in that crucial time and go, oh shit. Gotta get it, So we'll see. But listen, he's got enough pieces around him that he should be all right. I think he'll be holding the trophy at the end of the day today.
That's why I'm waving. This is my prop bet index card, Brad.
What is your prop bet?
And we just hit on one of mine. Big time. I have Matthew Stafford over a half an interception today.
Okay.
That's a good bet.
That's a good bet. I really like the under for the first half. I like Beckham over his yard catches. I think he's going to have a big day today.
Big Odell guy.
I like the sack total.
I think we might have just lost Brad.
Did we lose Brad? I'm assuming. I think he was going to say Rams over 3.5 sacks, which is one of mine as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we just lost
like
Brad.
The color of the Gatorade.
That's always a fun one. Yeah.
Well, it's got to be.
It's got to be orange, blue,
orange or blue, right?
Yeah.
Orange, blue, green,
whoever wins.
Red. And then lemon. I think there's 5 choices.
The yellow. Yeah.
So you like? It sounds like Brad and John. So everybody likes the Rams on the panel.
Correct.
Yeah. The number's going back and forth though. It moved a bunch. They're trying to get both sides, obviously.
So everybody, we're
going to do our bet at the end of the show. The last 15 minutes, we'll get our bets in or what we're doing.
Here, let's do it.
You want to do it now?
Yeah, let's do it now, so we don't run out of time.
All right.
And we can talk about because I do want to talk. I want to talk to Brad about Flores.
Okay.
We didn't get to that last week.
Right.
So let's do our prop bets, and then we'll get into a little bit of a more serious discussion in Brian Flores, and maybe we'll get to the MLB lockout.
Yeah, how about that one? That's interesting. I was calling around the league, and my buddies, and trying to get guys they're kind of close-lipped on that.
Yeah.
No,
it's the shield. Let's do it. We'll do our parlay later. Then let's just jump right into it. Brad, what is he trying to accomplish with this lawsuit? Does he want a job for himself? Does he want minorities to get more love in the process? Because Brad, I hope that he has more evidence.
I don't think he gets another job in the league. He's going to get a big settlement from the NFL donors to make him go away. But I think and that whole thing down with the Belichick tax and the Rooney Rule, where you have to hire or interview African American candidates, and I think he had enough and just didn't want to do it again. He thought it was a sham, and then to do the lawsuit. The 32 owners don't want to deal with this stuff.
No, yeah.
I mean, it's a huge blemish on their,
But and that's my thing with this whole thing. Like, that's my whole 2 points on this thing is I hope Brian Flores and his legal team have much more evidence than a couple of screenshots from Bill Belichick. Because a couple of screenshots from inadvertent texts from Bill Belichick, they were supposed to go to Brian Dabble, whatever the hell happened, that's not going to hold up in court, and he's not going to He's not. There's going to be no legs to stand on.
They'll
number
never go to
two
court.
is
the NFL doesn't. The same reason
They'll
they
never
settle
get to court.
They'll settle because they don't want the information to be public record.
Right.
It won't happen.
okay. I hear you on that. But and number two, I hope Brian Flores. I hope he's prepared not to coach ever again in the NFL. Because if I'm an owner, guys, and John Coyle, African American candidate who just sent a lawsuit against the NFL, well, why would I hire you, John? If I hire you, and you win 3 games, 3 years in a row, and I have to fire you, you're just gonna sue me.
Yeah, they open up a big Pandora's box.
Right.
It was evidence what they did with Lovie Smith. Hire. There does need to be more representation of African Americans in prominent roles in the NFL because of I think African Americans make up 68% or 70% of the NFL rosters, and they want better representation in the front office and coaches, in influential positions. But the American way. If I'm an owner, I feel bad on one side, but I don't want to be told what I have to do.
Correct.
It goes against every American thing that we have. Oh, you're telling me I have to do a certain thing because, it just doesn't make sense.
Right. And let's not forget that there is, as bad or good as it is, there is a precedent for this with the Colin Kaepernick situation, right? Like, you can't tell me Colin Kaepernick is not as good a quarterback as some of these quarterbacks in the league. But he is, quote unquote, blackballed from the league for what he did. And Flores seems like he's traveling down that path.
He is. He basically, I don't know, and we can look into it, but who's the representation he's got? He went down he'll write a book but he's pigeonholed. He'll be pressed hard if he gets another job in the league.
Right.
Because I don't know. I mean, but like you said, it opens up this Pandora's box that now if you get fired before your contract's done or 2-3, is it going to be racially based because you fired me because I lost, okay, I'm firing you in the first year of your contract.
Correct.
I don't know, man. It's a slippery slope.
So we're all in agreement that the NFL has a problem with lack of African American coaching candidates.
Yeah, I think Brad hit it right on the head. It is the players themselves who make up 70% of rosters feel like they want to be represented a little bit better in the prominent roles of a franchise in the NFL, and that's fair. That's fair. I would want that also if I was a player in the NFL. So, yeah, I do think the NFL needs to take account to that and make a change.
They need to be more accountable for it. And it's, the Old Boy Network with the 32 owners, and there's not a minority that owns, any of the franchises. And so the African Americans are thinking, we kind of, we represent more majority in this league. We need better representation. And I think there's some good candidates out there and some good coordinators. But I don't know in the whole interview process how that shakes out. And like you look at some of the guys that are like on Andy's Reid's staff. I mean, the Stu Staley, he goes for interviews and Eric Benjamin. I mean, he's on all the interview things. Maybe he doesn't interview well. I don't know. Because
are these guys really candidates?
These young guys, these analytical guys that come with formulas, and they probably do a real good a PowerPoint presentation. Here's what I'm going to do, and maybe some old throwback football coaches aren't like that. They're those guys, and they're drawing it on the whiteboard, or maybe they, who knows what they're looking for.
Right, like Mike McDaniel down in Miami.
Yeah,
that's what they want.
Right.
They want a guy, and they're pounding his biracial background to death.
Yeah, it's so. But as I look at it, though, I'm like, why are you're forcing people to, do certain things just for show, and that's what
just for show. Yeah,
that's what the lawsuit, the Rooney Rule. The Rooney Rule was set up for that you have enough African American candidates that come through the system and give them a chance, which I think is a great rule. But it backfired on him now.
Right.
What's the point? Like, is Eric Bieniemy and Todd Bowles and Byron Leftwich, are these guys really being brought in because they're being seriously considered to be hired, or are they just being filled in
because they have to hit a quota? Yeah.
Now look, I'm not black.
That's what the lawsuit will be based on. And the evidence of the text said it was already decided before I go. But try to prove that, though. How are they going to prove that it was already, the decision was already made and they're bringing me through just to suffice the Rooney Rule? That's going to be tough to prove,
Look, and I'm not black, obviously. I'm never going to know what it's like to be black. And that's just not, I'm never going to deal with that hatred towards my, and it is hatred, because there unfortunately there are racists and people that hold grudges because of silly things like skin color. But if I were an African American and I was being brought in just to fill some quota, isn't that I would be insulted? No.
Yeah. I mean, I think we lost Brad there, but yeah, you're 100% correct. I mean,
I'm gonna put on a suit and take this thing seriously and go in for the interview when I really know Eric Bieniemy knows he's not getting hired by the Saints.
Yeah, 100%.
Right? I thought Byron Leftwich. I don't know what happened in Jacksonville.
Should be the darling. Yeah, he should be the darling. Yeah.
I don't know what happened in Jacksonville. I thought Byron Leftwich had that job sewn up.
Right.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Doug Peterson's the coach. What happened there?
I agree with that. I don't understand. I mean, that would have been a good fit, a good hire.
Yeah. I think Doug's a great fit in Jacksonville. Don't get me wrong, because Doug has his flaws, and he's not here anymore, and he did good things for the Eagles. But Doug has his flaws, but he's a team builder. He's a leader of men, and he's going to build a culture that was totally shot by Urban Meyer.
That hire, you know what you have with Doug? He won a championship, and he developed a quarterback. You got a young quarterback, the best one in the league. So I could see that hire, but they're both good candidates.
Correct.
But if you want to go the African American minority candidate standpoint, how is Mike McDaniel a better head coaching candidate than Byron Leftwich? Byron Leftwich just coached Tom Brady for the last 2 years and won a championship. I know he wasn't the head coach, but he's in the meetings with Tom Brady every single day.
Right.
And you're going to hire a guy from Mike McDaniel who just is a disciple of the Geek of the Week, Kyle Shanahan, who couldn't win a game of checkers if there was money on it. Never won a thing. Comes up small time after time with his Mickey Mouse guru offense. You're going to hire Mike McDaniel over Byron Leftwich? And then you're going to pound the drum that Mike McDaniel is a woke candidate and a woke hire because he's biracial? I don't know, but but I digress on that, and let me get to my point that I'm trying to ask.
I don't know rhyme or reason, but it's interesting how the everything moves, and so. But we're the bottom line is, the whole process. We're not in an interview room and how they interview, and
yes,
and, you're the leader of the men of your team and representation of the team, and then
there's a whole bunch that we don't understand in that.
Yeah. In Jacksonville, you had such a black eye with Urban down there screwing up, and then now with Doug is squeaky clean and 1-1, and it just that was a good hire.
Yes.
What's the solution? The Rooney Rule didn't work. It didn't work. The guys are still getting snubbed. There's only 2 out of 32 African American head coaches. Brad, John, you've said it's a 70% African American league. What is the solution to get more minority head coaching, legitimate opportunities, not a Mickey Mouse interview to fill a quota? Brad Ryer, my co-host on Monday, he brought up maybe you can do something with the salary cap. Last year, we owed Carson Wentz. We had a bunch of dead money. It's just an example. We had a bunch of dead money on our salary cap because of the Carson Wentz contract and him not being here. Let's say you hire an African American candidate, 25% of that gets relieved.
Yeah, I would not like to see that. I wouldn't like to see that.
Yeah, we're going down a slippery slope here with
Yeah.
the whole. I mean, where our country has came from. We're talking, 300 years ago, and now we're making like, I don't know. It's a tough call. We could talk a whole day on racial equality and different leagues in society, and it's a slippery slope. Though I just want the best candidate to have the position and get an opportunity, but never. I don't want to force anybody to do something because of their racial creed, gender, or ethnicity, and because of it's a slippery slope. It has to be changed, but it's obviously it's not working. So
I also think the last thing we'll do, and then we'll build our parlay. We have 15 minutes left here.
Yep.
On the rant booth here, exclusive on A2DRadio.com. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Periscope, and Instagram. Stream us, podcast form, Spreaker, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio.
Oh, we just lost Rob there. But I think he was getting into let's get into doing our bet. If you want to join me in this, Brad, and give your opinion on give me some of the opinions on the prop bets that you like. Are you a bettor?
Well, I can't bet because the position I hold for the NFL, right? So I don't. It's not not ethical. I don't bet. But everyone watches it, looks at it. If you were a betting man, which way would you go? But there's some interesting ones. Like we talked about the half point scores. I think Odell Beckham's going to get over his yardage.
Okay.
I think they're going to kick. I like the over in the field goals made.
Okay.
What else?
The sacks. I like the sacks.
The sacks. I think sacks will go over. And I like the orange Gatorade.
Okay.
Orange Gatorade. All right, I'm back.
There you go.
We're having technical difficulties galore today, but yeah, let's build our parlay.
Yep.
couple
that I just overheard. I love the Rams over 3.5 sacks.
I just hope it's a competitive game, and the NFL, the playoff games and the leading up to it were unbelievable ratings and excitement, and then the commercials. Obviously, all the commercials. I hope the commercials are good this year. The last couple of years, the commercials have been stinking. So
yeah.
Well, we live in an era where like comedy isn't cool, and if you tell a joke, you're going to offend half the people, and whatever half's offended is going to be way louder than the half the people that thought it was hilarious, which is a shame in my opinion. But yeah, I think that's why this. And then I'm pretty excited. I'm rarely like a halftime show guy, and like I'm not really a pop culture guy. Like I listen to my music. I have my Apple Music account, but I'm gonna be locked into halftime. I'm pretty excited about see what they're gonna do.
Where are you guys watching the game tonight?
I'm actually watching it in Atlantic City at Tropicana.
At the Trop, there you go. I'll just be up here in Bucks County. I got my fireball lined up. We got friends, family in the mix, so should be a fun day. I don't have work tomorrow. I'm off Mondays.
Do you do a big party, Brad?
Going to friends of ours tonight. Yeah, so we'll go watch the game over there. It's hard. Everyone's out having a good time. I watch football kind of a different perspective, and I just you kind of enjoy the X's and O's. So I kind of get my own little thing, my own little world, and kind of don't bother me. I'm just kind of watching, and everyone cares about the commercials.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Total violation. Violation. Like if you're not a football fan and you're just watching the Super Bowl, like to be like it's something to do. It's a party. It's basically a part of pop culture. I've said a bunch of times that I think tomorrow should be a national holiday and absolutely nobody should have to go to work.
The Monday after everyone calls in sick.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I've done it before.
Flu.
I'll never forget that the morning I woke up after, like the Monday after the Eagles won. I was working in an office in Center City, so like I had to get on a train and stuff like that. I woke up at the normal time. I tried to put my like khakis on, and I fell over because I was a little I was still a little wobbly from the night before.
So
I got on the horn and said, "Yo, it ain't happening today. It ain't happening today. You'll be all right. I'll be in tomorrow, but it ain't happening today. It happening today." So yeah, I've been there.
Let's get this going here. I'm gonna read off.
All right, where do you want to start? Do you want to just do because I think let's look at what we all agree with, and that's
the Rams. I'm taking the Rams.
Put it money line though.
I did. I put money line.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the Rams money line, and we all agree on the 5.5 total sacks. Correct?
Yep.
What is it? 3.5.
I said go over.
Yeah. I all get the over. It's 5.5 for the total game sacks.
Okay. Yep. Over.
Yep. You made a good point.
Bengals and Rams.
Yes, that's a total game sacks. Yes.
Yep. I think Beckham over yardage.
Do you think he scores a touchdown?
Yes.
Yeah, I got Beckham with a touchdown also.
Yes.
So I'm gonna add that one in there.
Okay. One on the Cincinnati side.
Okay.
Jumped out at me is Tyler Boyd over 42.5 receiving yards.
Okay. Let me see where that is.
I think if they're going to beat the blitz, I think if, and then I haven't looked into. I'm doing the show on the phone, so I can't really look because my computer just completely sucks all of a sudden. I would be interested to see what Joe Mixon's reception total and what Joe Mixon receiving yards props are.
I got it up right here.
If Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati offense is going to be able to move the football and beat the blitz and counteract the pass rush of the Rams, it's going to be a slot guy in Tyler Boyd, and it's going to be check downs out of the backfield to Joe Mixon that they're going to need to keep the Rams honest.
MVP of the game will be a defensive player, Aaron Donald, for the Rams.
Oh.
The game.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a sleeper.
Okay.
He's going to have 2.5, 3 sacks, and he's gonna dominate.
Okay,
that's another one of my favorite ones. Aaron Donald to record a sack. It's minus 200, so you got to lay some lumber. But,
right.
I mean, I think they're just giving away free money on that one.
Yeah, I agree. I do like the Aaron Donald plus 1,600. I think that's what I got it. So I do like that one.
Yeah, I picked him on the Sports Hounds last Monday to win MVP, and nothing I've seen or read has made me waver from that. And it's not like I'm going to waver anyway. I'm probably the most stubborn person when it comes to sports and
do we think
in life, in probably the history of mankind.
Do we think Matthew Stafford goes over 300?
No, I'm an under guy. So all these offenses.
You're an under guy.
I'm inclined to go under.
I think in the first half he goes 8 for 15 for $110.
Okay.
One touchdown maybe to Beckham. So I think he's under that 300.
Okay. All right. I like him over the 300. I think it's an all Rams passing attack today.
Okay.
I do. I love Odell. I love Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp is only 90 yards.
Okay.
I'm over that all day.
I think he gets 6 to 8 touches and he's over $150.
That's what I think too. Yeah, I'm over that all day.
That's the stats.
All right, so I'm gonna add that one in.
Jake Field, word around the rumor mill is that Colts could release or trade Carson Wentz before March 19th, according to Chris Morganson. Yeah.
That's funny.
What a fall from grace.
Thank you for the pick, though.
Yeah. What a fall from. I mean, did anybody think that in 2017, like in 2022, like we would be talking about Carson Wentz, like not being wanted by any team in the league?
That, huh?
Jeez. Absolutely
Brad,
crazy.
what's the deal there? Is he just like a jerk off and like he hides it well, or what's going on?
Well, he lost the locker room here in Philly when he was pouting and, not competing for his job. You can't have the leader of your team not fight for your job and kind of whiny and like a jealous schoolgirl, high school girl.
Right.
Like it's my, people want to see you compete and fight, and I don't think he does that. And I just don't think I don't know. I don't think he's not a partier guy. So he's a man of faith, and he's married, and so he's not a hanger out guy, kind of a loner, going out with guys and kind of, doing different things. So I don't think he's a real popular in the locker room either. So
right.
And then the insiders also reporting that Michael Thomas is going to get traded this offseason, which fairly obvious. But all right, John, where are we at with this parlay?
So
got going on?
I got my six legs. I think we're going to keep it at that. I'll read them off to you here real fast once it pops up. I don't know why it disappeared on me here. There we go.
Dude, nothing's working today.
All right, so we got the Rams money line.
Okay.
We have Odell Beckham with a touchdown.
I'm into it.
We have Tyler Boyd over 50 yards.
Love it.
Okay.
And we have Cooper Kupp over 90 yards. And we have the sacks 5.5 over.
And what's that going to pay us?
What do we got? What do we got? A 10 team parlay?
Yeah, we got hit all 6 of them, baby. Got hit all 6 of them.
It's usually 12. So
we usually go bigger. I'm just going to throw $5 on it. It's plus 4,000, so you win 200.
Okay.
All right.
Purple Gator, but Joseph, he's a purple Gator guy, Brad. Joseph Orkowski in the chat.
There you go.
Over 106 seconds for the national anthem. I don't even know who's singing the national anthem.
Yeah, who's singing?
I have no clue who's singing the national anthem.
I don't even know, but 106 seconds, that's just under 2 minutes.
I went to a bunch of Super Bowls, right? And so you go to the game, it's really the parties. You got the party Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday, and then you go, and then Saturday night you got a huge party Saturday, then you go to the game on Sunday, you fly home Monday morning. But it's the whole environment is just, it's crazy. It's just one big party. You see guys you haven't seen in years and get together, and half of Hollywood's out there. Everyone's out there, who's who.
Right.
Mickey Guyton singing.
Mickey Guyton, okay.
Couldn't tell you.
I think that they just did one a national anthem prior, and the Rams really liked them, and the NFL really liked them and brought them in.
So it's a guy or a girl?
No, I think it's a girl. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Okay. And then you usually you pay a crazy amount for, if you're fortunate enough to get face value for your tickets, right? And then you see a concert at halftime. It's always a good concert. So
always a good concert. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great concert.
How much does that affect the game? Because you have twice as long at halftime as you do.
It does. That's a good point, because you go in it so long, and then you lose. You got to re-stretch, and then you're sweaty, and then you get cold, and then you get sweaty. It's not good.
Right.
It's not good because it's too long. It's over half an hour, and usually it's 15 minutes. So.
And I'll be damned if some of the guys aren't peeking out of the locker room trying to catch a glimpse of it.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
This is because you have the old school guys.
This is who we all grew up on. Yeah.
And then you have Kendrick Lamar, who's just no one's no one's seen this guy in like 2 years.
Right.
So I have a feeling Kendrick Lamar's just been in his beat laboratory the whole pandemic and just ready to kill it at the Super Bowl. And he's going to release a bunch of new music based
But the
on,
fact, though, think about this guy. We talked about it. Think about the advantage of staying in your own bed all week, and not have to go to the hotel with the Rams, right? You know, you deal with all the people from out of town. They come in, you know, tickets. You deal with all that, but you're not talking about uprooting and you know, you switch hotels. You know, the family stays in your running hotel, and then Thursday night, Friday, you move into the players only hotel, and you know the Rams didn't have to deal with any of that stuff.
I got a question for you, Brad. So technically, the Rams are the away team in this game. The Bengals are the home team, even though it's being played there. Do the Bengals get the Rams locker room today? Do they get the home field locker room?
That's a great question. I was out with my buddies last, and we were talking about that because it is a huge advantage if that's the way it's set, AFC, NFC, and then who's the home team.
Right.
That's it. I got to find out, and I'll find out with my buddy that's working the game out there and see and ask that question for him.
Yeah.
There's two. Well, you're at a special. There's 2 home locker rooms, right? In SoFi.
Oh, there are. Okay.
Yeah.
There's no way that the Chargers and the Rams are sharing a locker room.
No.
You're probably right in that. Okay.
So I would imagine, it could have not worked out like that, you know? Like not every town has 2 teams.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because it's definitely an advantage, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Because normally the home team is a bigger locker room. You got all your stuff there.
Because I know for a fact that at the Staples Center, like the Clippers have their locker room, that's their home locker room, and the Lakers have, their locker room. Right. Yep. So I would imagine that like the Jets and the Giants have separate home locker rooms and the Chargers and the Rams. So I guess that the Rams would be in their locker room and they'll just stuff the Bengals in the Chargers locker room.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I just know usually the home team gets the home locker room.
Correct.
But like that would be it. And then a little tidbit. Remember when Notre Dame came to the Link a couple years ago against Temple?
Yes.
And Notre Dame was being a bunch of stingy buttholes and saying we want the home locker room if we're not making the trip.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
So I guess
speaking of locker rooms, my alma mater, Kinnick Stadium, Hayden Fry, the visiting locker room are all pink.
Right. So, yeah, and you always hear that, like the teams, they maybe the machines don't work as well, or the seats aren't as warm, or whatever.
Literally, guys, it's the carpeting, the urinals, everything is pink.
That's funny.
Because Hayden Fry was a psychology guy and pink. So Bo Schembechler at the University of Michigan, he would get so upset he would send somebody a day earlier and he would put up butcher paper, like just paper for the pink locker rooms. And Coach Fry would say, "See, we're in his head. The pink locker rooms. We got him." And then they'd come to Kinnick and kick our ass. Pink locker rooms.
That's funny.
Yep.
And Bob Brinkman says he saw on NFL channel that the Rams are in their own locker room.
Good.
Okay. So the Rams are in their own locker room.
Makes sense.
I mean, another advantage, another comfort level. Yeah, another comfort level.
Yeah, huge advantage.
Yeah.
Isn't there a little bit of distraction though, being at home because you're with your family, you're getting everybody and their mother wants tickets?
Well, but less of a distraction than getting on the road in Cincinnati, flying from Cincinnati,
correct,
everything to unfamiliar hotel and complex, and then dealing with out of town guests and relatives and tickets.
Right.
And, hey, Connie, can you get me? Then there's events that they want to go to, and so that's even more so when you're a away team like that.
Yeah, I heard that some of the players on the Rams, they don't have to worry about that, right? They all live in $1 million houses. Let's not kid ourselves. If they have out of town guests, you're just staying at the house.
Exactly.
You're not having to get hotel rooms. You're not having to get car transportations or anything like that. You just stay at the house.
And then the Rams are obligated to be in the hotel.
Right.
At
Yeah,
least
like-
The
like
last
those-
couple nights.
Yeah, like they'll be in usually like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 3 nights before,
Right.
before the game, got to lock them up and then start meetings and then what they do is okay, all right, no more, being a civilian, relatives and all your tickets are done. Now let's focus in the last 48 hours, on football, except if you hear the stories about this, the Bears in New Orleans when they played the Super Bowl there.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember that one.
Well, yeah, the Raiders when they played the Eagles, I think that was in New Orleans too. Dick Vermeil locked.
Well,
said the
how
Eagles
about-
had to be
how
locked
about-
in the
Yep.
hotel.
How about Dick in the Hall of Fame? Coach Vermeil.
Well deserved.
Well deserved. Yeah, I just
Well
saw him
deserved.
at his wine. He's got a vineyard, and we were at Italian Affair, and we were hoping all Carmichael was there, but well deserved honor to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean that's great, but Hall of Fames are not on my good list these days.
We're past our time here. Do you want to give our final score predictions and call it a wrap?
Yes, I like
right.
the Rams. I like the Rams 20-17. I picked it Monday. I picked it at the beginning of the show. I picked it.
Okay.
I picked it the whole week. The only thing a guy at the post office. The only thing that's made me waver is a guy at the post office on my UPS route was explaining to me how all these great quarterbacks won in their second year.
Correct.
Okay.
Big Ben, Brady, Russell Wilson,
Mahomes, right?
Really?
Mahomes.
Okay.
There's a whole list of them that won in their second year. Joe Burrow's second year. So that's the only thing that made me waver. Maybe Joe Burrow can do this, but no, I'm gonna pick the better team. I'm gonna pick the better coach. I'm gonna pick the better defense.
All right.
And I'm gonna pick the team that's gonna dominate the trenches. 20 to
What you
7.
got, Brad?
What's the score? What are you picking?
20 to 7. I got 20 to 17.
2017. Okay, so that's on
Under.
Yes.
under. I think if you're gonna go under, you got to go Cincy. If you're gonna go over, it's gonna be the Rams
Okay.
with the points. Right? I don't know.
Right. No, it makes sense. It's a close enough game. Yeah.
So I guess I like the 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Okay.
like the 4. What you got, Brad? Go ahead. You go.
All right. 34-17 Rams.
Okay.
All
So
right.
you like it pretty much a blowout and
Yeah.
never
Yeah.
worrisome.
No, it's never worrisome. And then I think they just put the hammer down. And I think the better coaching, like you said, the more talented team. And I think, and then if you listen, think of this. So they're catching up and they're throwing the ball, and Miller and Donald, Aaron know that they're passing the ball. You talk
Right.
about guys that are going to become. The line is not know what's going to hit them. The Cincinnati offense line. They're going to be coming and stunting, and he's going to be running for his life.
I'm with you. I'm going to go 31-24, but I do think it's the 24 is a nonsense touchdown at the end. I do think this is a runaway game where the Rams feel comfortable most of the game. I have Matthew Stafford having a huge game, 300-plus yards, 3 touchdowns. I have the Rams in a runaway game here.
All right. Hey, so it looks like you're in the store. In front of you in the store?
I am, yeah.
All right. Go get a Hawkeye hat. Put a Hawkeye hat on for me. Would you?
I'll go grab it real fast.
Go grab a Hawkeye hat and put it on and just amuse me. Go
He's
get
got a
that
bunch.
Iowa
He's got
Hawkeye
him.
hat.
He's got him.
I know he's got
I said
him.
he's got him down there.
Every year, my boys give me new hats for Christmas.
Yeah, is that like the generic? It's like the generic dad gift.
There you go. That's better.
It is like a cool. It's the A2D radio color scheme.
Yeah,
So you can't go
there
wrong
you go.
there.
Thanks. There you go. Go Hawks.
And I've always liked that. I wish they could get a quarterback.
I wish they'd get a little
They
more.
always have everything, but
They need better athletes, man. They need better athletes.
So anyway, everyone enjoy the Super Bowl. Be safe out there. It's snowy. It's raining. Depending on where you are.
It's snowing here. All right, guys. And then, hey, we'll talk offline, and we'll talk this week, okay?